Hello friends, you are welcome on our channel Bodhisattva, and this is Deepak Gautam today here with you to discuss ethics paper 7 of our mains test series program, which has been started since 21st of April 2020. Well friends, those who of you have not joined it yet, you can join it by hitting the link given below in the description box. And apart from that, you should refer to our current affair video which has been provided weekly, and they are very comprehensive in content as well as context. So friends, let's get back to our discussion first. And the first question was about emotional intelligence. It was, in essence, emotional intelligence is not a theoretical concept add कर लीजिएगा, but a multi-dimensional social skill. Explain the concept and dimension of emotional intelligence in the context of this statement. The question was very simple. हिंदी में भी हम इसको पढ़ लेते हैं. भावनात्मक बुद्धिजीवी तत्व एक सैद्धांतिक संप्रत्याय ही नहीं है, किंतु एक बहुआयामी सामाजिक कौशल है. इस कथन के परिप्रेक्ष्य में भावनात्मक बुद्धि की अवधारणा एवं आयामों की व्याख्या कीजिए. वेल फ्रेंड्स, जब ये स्टेटमेंट बेस्ड क्वेश्चन आता है तो हमारे सामने सबसे बड़ा चैलेंज आता है कि हम कैसे इस क्वेश्चन को adhere करें, how to approach this question. So before starting this question, you read there are the two sentences in the question. There is a primary sentence and a secondary sentence. The primary sentence is introducing you to the question, and the secondary statement want you what you are supposed to write here, that in the context of, it is the secondary part, so the second statement, not the secondary per se. And there you have to say you have to elaborate the concept as well as the dimension. So concept is about is nothing but explain the emotional intelligence in general, and after that you are also supposed to do threading of the second part, that is dimension part. So in this emotional intelligence as a concept has emerged in 1990s, and since then it has been opined comprehensively. अब इसको डिफाइन करने में अगर आप देखो तो सिंपलेस्ट फॉर्म में अगर जो इमोशनल इंटेलिजेंस का मतलब होता है, इमोशनली आप इंटेलिजेंट है, दैट मीन्स यू कैन नॉट ओनली अंडरस्टैंड योर इमोशंस बट दैट ऑफ अदर पर्सन ऑल्सो, एंड मैनेज देम. Okay, managing them in order to have a socially desirable behavior. अब वो सोशली डिजायरेबल बिहेवियर कौन सा बिहेवियर, जिसमें कि सारी चीजें कंस्ट्रक्टिवली आप कर सकते हैं. लेट्स टेक एग्जांपल, यू आर एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव ऑफिसर एंड यू आर सपोज टू हैंडल अ कास्ट क्राइसिस इन योर रीजन. सो अगर आप कास्ट क्राइसिस को अप्रोच करना चाहते हैं तो आपको एक प्रॉपर अंडरस्टैंडिंग चाहिए. आपको प्रॉपर अंडरस्टैंडिंग चाहिए वहां के सोशल कंस्ट्रक्ट की, आपको प्रॉपर अंडरस्टैंडिंग चाहिए वहां के लोगों के सोचने के तरीके की, वहां के एजुकेशनल बैकग्राउंड की, वहां की कास्ट कंपोजिशंस की. तभी आप जब पूरी चीजों को समझोगे और अपने एटीट्यूड को भी आपको समझ, अपने कॉन्टेक्स्ट को भी आपको देखने की जरूरत है, अपने आप के बारे में भी आपको समझने की जरूरत है, तभी आप एक सोशली डिजायरेबल बिहेवियर क्रिएट कर सकते हो, और जो भी स्टेप आप लोगे वो नेसेसरीली वहां पर जरूरी होंगे. फर्दर, इन दिस कॉन्टेक्स्ट, इमोशनल इंटेलिजेंस इज अबाउट इमोशनल कंपिटेंस. दैट मींस यू अंडरस्टैंड योर इमोशन. इट इज सोशल कंपिटेंस. सोशल कंपिटेंस में यू अंडरस्टैंड योर सराउंडिंग बेटर. अगर आप अपनी सराउंडिंग को नहीं समझते हैं तो इमोशनल इंटेलिजेंस won't be of any use. And the third part is behavioral competence, and that how you are conducting yourself in that social surrounding. आप उस social surrounding में अपने आप को कैसे conduct करते हो. So friends, this was the concept you are supposed to explain in the concept of ethics part. The second part was about the dimension. While you are discussing emotional intelligence, then this name Daniel Goleman will be prima facie concern you must go through. Okay, because he was the person who gave a very crystal clear understanding of emotional intelligence, and here he provided four main dimension. You can also say them four components, some may call them four dimensions. So those four dimensions were nothing but self awareness and self management. देखिए इसको, ये थोड़ा आप इसके उसको सही कर लीजिएगा सीक्वेंसिंग को. फर्स्ट है सेल्फ अवेयरनेस, देन सेल्फ मैनेजमेंट, द सेकंड इज, द थर्ड इज सोशल अवेयरनेस, एंड द लास्ट इज सोशल मैनेजमेंट. फर्स्ट, दैट मीन्स यू शुड नो अबाउट योरसेल्फ, दैट व्हाट आर माय strength and my weaknesses. Let's take example. If I'm having a fear of public speech, if I know this, then I can improvise on this part. So this second part come to this self management. Then I'll think over it, that if I have this issue of public speaking, that I feel somewhere suffocated and freeze while going on the podium and facing the masses, तो मैं अपने इन चीजों पे काम कर सकता हूँ. I can go for the training part. I can improvise on my communication skills. I will see that what part I'm lacking in. क्योंकि आप अगर किसी चीज को सही से कर नहीं पा रहे हो तो आप उस पार्ट पे काम करना शुरू कर देते हैं. तो दैट is something you started working on, you started pondering on. The second part is social awareness. Then you should know about your surrounding. Take example of the same public speaking part. You will see that you have certain kind of audience. आपकी audience कैसी है? मेरी audience usually students होते हैं, तो I have to have the way of more elaborative, more explanatory, more exemplifying the things so that you can understand the things. If you have a very intellectual class, intellectual sort of audience, then you have to cater them accordingly. You are not supposed to be very explanatory, because these people, what you speaks, these people गेट दैट वेरी इजीली. तो जो चीज़ वो आसानी से समझ सकते हैं उसको आप बार बार एक्सप्लेन करेंगे तो देयर विल बी इरिटेशन ऑन द पार्ट ऑफ पीपल एंड दे विल हैविंग यू नो बैड जेस्चर्स, एंड दोज जेस्चर्स व्हेन यू रिफ्लेक्ट ऑन you will somewhere feel compromised. So this is something you are supposed to understand. Then you are supposed to self management of this, the social management. That means you modify your concerns, you modify your speaking, you modify your way of living, everything. That is just the social part. So these were the four components or the four dimension you were supposed to elaborate here. So आप जब इन क्वेश्चंस को लिख रहे हैं, इन क्वेश्चंस को तैयार कर रहे थे कि ये डायरेक्टली सिलेबस में, अगर आप सिलेबस में से चीज़ें, तो थोड़ी सी टेक्निकलिटी आपके पास होनी चाहिए. कुछ लोगों ने यहाँ पर क्या करा था, जैसे कि रेणुका ने करा या और बच्चों ने करा, आपने ना इमोशनल इंटेलिजेंस की डेफिनेशन को ना देते हुए आपने फैक्चुअल इन्फॉर्मेशन उसमें दी कि मेयर ने ऐसा बोला, इसने ऐसा बोला. देखिए, अगर आप किसी इंडिविजुअल का नेम लिख रहे हो और अगर उस नेम को लिखते समय आपके सामने ये चैलेंज आता है कि आप अपनी अच्छी डेफिनेशन दे पा रहे हैं या नहीं दे पा रहे हैं, तो उसमें आप डेफिनेशन को तवज्जो दीजिए, नेम मैटर नहीं करता है. फाइन. सो ये एक छोटे छोटे नुएंसेस हैं जिनको आप एड्रेस करिए. द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन इज अबाउट, वेट फॉर अ व्हाइल. Yes, the next question is throw light on the application and utilities of emotional intelligence in administration and governance. Well, you can club them. अगर जब आपको 6 मार्क्स में लिखना है या आप 10 मार्क्स में लिखने जा रहे हैं या आप 8 मार्क्स में लिखने जा रहे हैं, अलग अलग, चूंकि एग्जामिनेशन में अलग अलग तरीके से मार्किंग में पूछा जाता है. यूपीएससी 10 मार्क्स में पूछता है, यूपीपीएससी 8 मार्क्स में पूछा जाता है, एमपी 6 में पूछता है. तो जब आप इस क्वेश्चन को कैटर करें तो आपके पास इतना स्पेस नहीं है. अभी आप जब टेस्ट सीरीज में लिख रहे हैं तो आप मेरे को लिख के भेज सकते हैं, आई कैन रीड 3 पेजेस का क्वेश्चन, मैं पढ़ दूंगा, मेरे लिए कोई नहीं, आई टेक दैट पेन. बट इन व्हेन यू आर राइटिंग इन द एग्जामिनेशन सेंटर यू हैव टू बी वेरी कैलकुलेटिव बाय यूजिंग योर वर्ड्स, सो यू कैन क्लब देम टुगेदर. Okay, or if you do not have profound knowledge, then club them together. I club them together. I didn't take it to the further. So 1990s onward, this emotional intelligence become a watchword. Why? Because the challenges which the administration now facing has transformed. Earlier, the challenge before this administration was nothing but but ensuring law and order system. But now this has changed tremendously. Now it is more about the democratic governance, it is more about pro-people governance, it is more about taking care of the right of the people. Now the people-centered administration was required. And in this system, you have to have an emotionally competent individual, because as an administrator, you have to deal with different sections of the society. You have to deal with the depressed people, you have to deal with the efficient people and rich people. That's where the challenge lies. When you can manage them together, that only you can ensure that administration will be called efficient administration, else you will be lacking. So this part you are supposed to explain in this question. So you can read it further. To mitigate the impact and intensity of negative values, yes, elitism, insensitive, aloof administration, red tapeism, and so on and so forth. The second are to foster rightful or the pro-people values like self-motivated, good work culture, effective leadership, or I must say ethical leadership, empathy, integrity, selflessness, etc. And apart from that, the third one, if you'll read, you will read that number of challenges has also increased. The earlier gender violence was not a discussion of mainstream society. Now it has turned into, earlier environment degradation was not the discussion of mainstream society. Now it has become. Earlier the rights of transgender were nowhere concerned in India or any part of the world, or LGBT community. Now they are the part of the centered discussion. So this is something you have to see. And who can manage these issues well? The person who was emotionally efficient, or a person having emotional, behavioral, as well as social competence. Though the fourth was to manage immensely increased work pressure as witnessed by administration, like Ashok Khemka. You can give examples, you can write examples, write as many as examples. If you will notice that when I'm writing the ethics paper, I'm giving more and more examples, because example make your writing more effective. So अभी जो अच्छे स्टूडेंट्स हैं, लाइक प्रतीक है, अनुराग है, सुरभि हो, रेणुका है, आप रत्नेश हो, आप लोग क्या करिए, आप लोग अब अपने राइटिंग में इस चीज को इम्बाइब करना शुरू करिए, क्योंकि आपके पास कंटेंट है। जैसे तन्मय है, तन्मय का कंटेंट बहुत इफेक्टिव है। तो जब आप कंटेंट को अच्छा लिख रहे हैं, उस कंटेंट में आप एग्जाम्पल्स को जरूर इंक्लूड करिए। Further, if we'll go in the if we'll go in the same section, then it is about the work pressure. The work pressure on individual as well as government also have increased, because now people demand more service, more better efficient service, and these service can be provided when an individual is having self motivation and self guided, rather than just following rule and order. Earlier Weberian model was all about following the law and order, having neutrality, complete neutrality, but now that is not possible in present day modern administration. The sixth part is need for innovation and initiative. Okay, now new challenges need new solution and new approach, which cannot be altered in earlier fashion. Okay, in the previous with the previous mindset of administrator. So this is where you have to go for the emotional intelligence. And a person who is calculative enough, the person who can have self motivation, a person is selflessness, a person is literally determined to do something, they can only they can ensure this success, and they can bring new solutions. So if you will see about the Dalia Jalao Andolan, so Tamanna initiative, and Dinakaran, sorry, Dinakaran, Sankaran sir. So if you'll read these people, then you'll got to know about this initiative. Well, friends, the next question was about the Gandhian economics. It was economics that hurts the moral well-being of an individual or a nation are immoral and therefore sinful. In this context, discuss the Gandhian view on moral approach to इकोनॉमी। देखिए, जब गांधी जी को पढ़ रहे हो, गांधी जी के इकोनॉमी को बात कर रहे हैं, तो आपके दिमाग में प्राइमा फेसिया जो चीज आनी चाहिए है वो होती है ओशनिक साइकिल ऑफ इक्वालिटी। दैट मींस वेयर everyone, where you cannot decide that who is first and who is last. That means the last person, most destitute person, he should feel himself or herself with a part and parcel of the governing structure or the economy or the administration. This is what something he was emphasizing on, and that is where you were supposed to emphasizing on. So in this context, if you'll read him, you will find that he was focusing on basic dimensions, like he challenged the Marxist इकोनॉमिक मॉडल। देखिए, जब आप उनकी मोरल इकोनॉमी को मोरल बना रहे हो, तो दूसरे की इमोरलिटी को भी तो दर्शाइए ना, उनके कंटेक्स्ट में, उनके कंपैरिजन में स्टडी करके। तो आप अगर देखो, तो जब वो मार्क्स की बात करते हैं, तो वो बोलते हैं, मार्क्स इज टॉकिंग अबाउट द क्लास कॉन्फ्लिक्ट, बट दैट इज नॉट द सॉल्यूशन। क्लास कोऑपरेशन इज द सॉल्यूशन। Okay, similarly, if you'll read about how the economy is to be altered, वो economic changes कैसे लाने हैं, Marx is talking about the revolutionary, यानी violent revolution. He was talking about a peaceful revolution. Similarly, he was also against the evil of materialism, because evil of materialism is breeding nothing but colonialism, imperialism, exploitation. These parts are supposed to be elaborated and explained in this part, and then you must switch on how you can bring changes. Then he is giving the concept of sarvodaya, that welfare of all. He is giving the concept trusteeship. Trusteeship means nothing but that everything belongs to God, and we all are son of God and daughter of God, and all of us are having equal share in the divinity or in the resources provided by the Almighty. Fine. So this is something you should reflect on, and that's where he have given solution to the problem of accumulation of wealth. There he said that a person who is holding the wealth or have amassed the wealth, that does not belong to that person. Rather, it belongs to everyone, and he is a custodian of that resource, and he must employ that resource for the betterment and the welfare of the people. That is something, that is where you were supposed to explain. He was also abandoning ऑल्सो टॉकिंग अबाउट लॉ ऑफ लिमिटेशन, दैट मीन्स आपको जितना चाहिए आप उतना यूज करिए ना, आप एक्सेसिवली मत देखिए। देखिएगा मैं हमेशा इसको एग्जांपल देता हूं, जब भी आपको अपने खर्चे बचाने हैं ना, आप सिंपल सा सोचिए। आप मार्केट में जाइए, बिफोर बाइंग एनीथिंग थिंक कैन यू लिव और वोंट लिव, कैन यू लिव और नॉट विदाउट दिस पर्टिकुलर thing. So if you are going and you have already 3 pair of shoes at home and you are going to the market and seeing there that you are not getting anything, you wanted another piece of shoes, so another pair of shoes, तो आपको क्या जरूरत है उस चीज की जब आपके पास ऑलरेडी 3 पेयर है? तो आप जब ये सोचेंगे तो आप इकोनॉमी में कहीं ना कहीं चीजों को देखेंगे। दो मैनी ऑफ स्टूडेंट हैज कॉन्ट्राडिक्टेड, सर ऐसे तो चीजें नहीं होगी, कंज्यूमरिज्म नहीं जाएगा। वेल फ्रेंड्स, अर्थ हैज इनफ टू सेटिस्फाई योर नीड बट नॉट योर ग्रीड, सो greed is always detrimental to all. So don't say that consumerism is the only thing through which you can ensure this prosperity. So that is where you are supposed to explain this. And the last question was about the sarvodaya, the concept of sarvodaya. Sarvodaya means welfare of all. Question was very simple. डिस्कस द कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ सर्वोदय। आपको सर्वोदय के बारे में एलैबोरेट करते जाना, आपको सर्वोदय के बारे में बताते जाना था, सिंपली फाइन। सो व्हेन यू आर डिस्कसिंग अबाउट द सर्वोदय, द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट ब्यूटीफुल कॉन्सेप्ट गिवन बाय गांधी जी एंड लेटर जयप्रकाश नारायण profoundly brought it forth before the masses. Here it is सर्वोदय नहीं, सर्व मीन सबका भला, welfare of all. So whatever is your economic, social, political basis, it is all about ensuring welfare of all. So when it is about economic benefit, then economy should be such that it is targeting to reduce the inequality amongst the masses and it ensure equitable distribution among the masses. But it does not by mean of class conflict but class cooperation, and trusteeship is one such concept he has imbibed in this particular concept. Further, when he is talking about the social aspect, social sarvodaya means society is having place for all and each and every individual should be given adequate opportunity to evolve and enhance one's capacity. It do not have any place for the casteism, for the communalism, for the child marriages, for the miserable condition of women and all that. Apart from that, you should also focus on the political dimension. Here recently MPPSC has asked this question and finally they have brought to this conclusion that both of them are correct, like Jayaprakash Narayan as well as Gandhi ji. So here he is talking about stateless society, party-less democracy. Means people should lead their governance rather than a particular party, because parties do what? They amasses the wealth, they amass or they concentrate the power and try to manage and try to control each and every dimensions of human life. So the result of this conflict you can see in Europe and you can see in modern day context. This was which resulted in those many wars, colonialism and everything. So he was talking about this particular, so simply आपको ये explain करना था. So friends, that's where I would love to rest my discussion. I have given you the elaborate evaluation. बीच में भी मैंने include कर लिए थे आपके जो evaluations necessarily थे, आप उन सब पर focus करिए और improve करते रहिए अपने skills को, enhance करते रहिए। जितना आप लिखेंगे, जितना ज़्यादा आप देखिए read, revise and recite, इस the 3R formula आप अपने पास रखिए. Along with that you should also work on what you read, that you should think and that you should write. Okay, so वो भी आपको RTR का भी formula, RTW का भी formula आपको अपने साथ रखना है. So friends, if you like this video, please like this video and subscribe the channel and hit the bell icon, and please do not shy in sending any query. I'm open to you. You can write it in the comment box and I'm also open to your suggestions. So you're welcome and thank you. Have a nice day ahead.